In this round 2 video, I'm going to give you some more movies in my collection I haven't watched yet. Hey, it's me AP and welcome back to another video. So, we've done one of these ones before, movies in my collection I haven't watched yet, and now we're doing a round 2. I managed to dig out a few more movies in the collection that I haven't got around to watching yet, but I will hopefully, in this video I'm going to discuss, why I've not watched them and maybe why I am going to watch them, or maybe why I'm not going to watch them. Maybe they're going to leave the collection for good. I will, we'll deep dive into the topic. But there's some interesting ones I think here, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna ramble anymore. Let's deep dive into this topic of movies in my collection I haven't watched yet, round 2. So the first movies I want to discuss is the Narnia sequels. I've seen the first Narnia movie, but these two movies here I have never watched before. This is Narnia, the Prince Caspian movie. I'm pretty sure that's the second one here, Prince Caspian. And then we've got Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Again, never watched this movie. I've seen little bits on TV before, but never got round to fully watching these movies before. Why have I never watched them? I'll be honest with you, these movies came around maybe a couple of years maybe after Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, around that same time frame, maybe a bit afterwards. And I think they were kind of like bigged up as like they're going to be like this another great big massive franchise similar to the Harry Potters and Lord of the Rings. And it never quite did it. It never quite got up to that level. I know a lot of people do like their movies. I think the first one is okay, and maybe I've just not really watched it enough times over the years to fully appreciate it, and I know a lot of people do like their movies, but for me, the first Narnia movie just I don't know, it just wasn't up to a good level for me as a viewer. I just didn't get much from it as a viewer of movies, so I never got around to watching the sequels, but they are sitting in my collection with the original movie as well. And why are they staying there? Am I going to watch them? I think I will watch them. I think I need to sit down one weekend and watch all these Narnia movies in back-to-back order, and just to get an idea of the story. Because I think I would like that world, and I think I don't think it's going to be like an Iron Man 3 level of movie. I think I probably will enjoy elements of them because it's like that fantasy element. I love fantasy movies going into different worlds, and that's what Narnia is, isn't it? So I think in the back of my mind, I'm like, I might like these movies. I might enjoy them. That's why they've not been downsized or got rid of as of yet. So I think I do want to give them a chance. And I think it's, for me, like I said, I think I need to watch them all together. Just sit down one weekend and watch them all out. But they've not been watched as of yet. And I will get round to watching them. I'm intending to watch them. Next on my list is Home Alone 4. Now, I've watched all of the other Home Alone movies apart from this one here, Home Alone 4. I've watched the more recent one, Home Sweet Home Alone, on Disney+. I've watched the original 3. The original 2 were just, they were masterpieces. They were amazing. The third one, then, we didn't have Macaulay Culkin in the third one. There's another kid. It wasn't bad. I watched that as a kid. I didn't actually mind that movie. I've not watched it in more recent times. Maybe I'd think differently. But I didn't think it was a bad movie. But I've got like a DVD box set of these movies, the Home Alones. This one's been sitting there for years, and it's just something that doesn't interest me. Because first of all, it's a new kid again. It's like, why didn't they just keep the kid from the third one at least and do another sequel with that kid? But they didn't do a sequel with that kid. They got a brand new kid in again, new villains. I know this guy from I think he's in some sort of like American comedy franchise. I think the woman is from the Willy Wonka reboot with Johnny Depp. I think he is in some sort of comedy movie series in America I've seen on like Cinemasker. I can't think of the guy's name. I honestly don't know what his name is. I have no idea. I know he's in some sort of like a movie series. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I may have to do some research. If I find out, I'll put it in the link of in some text or something. But yeah, this one just doesn't interest me. And Totally honest, I feel like this is one I probably won't watch. I just don't feel like I'm going to give it a chance. I just don't have an interest, especially after the more recent Home Alone movie, Home Sweet Home Alone. I watched that and I was like, at first I thought, it's okay, it's not bad. But then looking back, I'm like, really digesting that movie in, I thought, God, that was garbage, really. I initially thought, yeah, it's an okay movie, but really, it was really bad. It was really bad, and it kind of puts me off because I feel like the first two were great, really classic movies, and I do think, even the third one, as much as I like it, they just really have went down, down the levels of movie being good, and it just went okay, and I feel like this one's probably going to be a bad movie, in all honesty. Maybe it's not one I give to Goodwill, to charity shop straight away. Maybe it's something that gets downsized into my little folder of movies first of all, but I don't see me watching it anytime soon, this one. And maybe I will watch it at some point in the future if I'm really, really bored, but for the time being, this is not going to be watched, I can tell you that for sure. The next movie I'm going to discuss is Hanzel and Gretel, Witch Hunters, starring Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton, and this is a movie that I've actually taken out of my storage folder and put the DVD in a spare case just so I can display it for this particular video. But this is a movie I've never got around to watching. It's been in the collection a few years. I've never really heard much about this movie, so I can't really say if it's meant to be a good movie or a bad movie. It's just one that I've just never got around to watching. It just never interested me with the witches, but it's one that maybe because I like Jeremy Renner, I think he's a decent actor, I've kept hold of for that reason alone. Will I watch it? I think I'm more inclined to say I'd watch it rather than give it away. I think it's one where, it's interesting, you got a fresh movie there. Especially I like Jeremy Renner, I like him as Hawkeye, especially you've got the new Hawkeye show on at the moment. To look back and see this movie a couple of years ago, maybe came around like when the Avengers movies were coming out, probably around that sort of time, to see what that's like, and to see this Hanzel and Gretel, these are like these nursery rhymes, sort of like kids characters, and the witch hunters in this movie. It's meant to be it looks like sort of like a Van Helsing like movie, something like that. So it might be interesting. It might be sort of like an underrated movie in a way. So that's why I'm kind of like on the fence about getting rid of it. So I think I'm more inclined to say, like I said, that this will be one that will be watched, and it is a movie that I will at some point be sitting down to give it a viewing session. Next up, I have The Magnificent Seven, and this cowboy classic, I've got it in this collection here, along with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and the Alamo. I've watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I've never watched the Magnificent Seven or the Alamo. But The Magnificent Seven, I think, is just it's a classic movie everyone talks about, yet I've never watched it, and it's been in the collection for years. Why have I never watched it? I like westerns, but I like for me it's like more like I watched like the spaghetti westerns as a kid, like Clint Eastwood's spaghetti westerns. More recent times, I'd probably watched like films like Tombstone is a more recent western I'd probably say I've watched, and I really enjoyed that. But Magnificent Seven is just one that has always escaped me. I've just never got round to watching it. Never had time, but it's just never one that's been an eye-catching movie that's been something that I've not been drawn to watching this movie, and that's why I've never watched it. I know nothing of the. Well, I think is it like they go to a town or something and they got to defend the town? I think that's the only thing I know about the story. And there's 7 cowboys, or maybe there's not 7 cowboys. Maybe there's 6 cowboys and there's someone else who's not a cowboy. I don't know. But there's 7 people on horses and they've all got cowboy hats on. So I imagine they're all cowboys. But yeah, it looks. I'd be interested to watch it just to see what this. It's a highly regarded movie, isn't it? Highly regarded. I know they did like a remake a couple of years back. I think Denzel Washington and like Chris Pratt were in the remake. Never watched that as well. Never had any interest in watching it. If it was a choice between the remake and the original, I probably would go for the original. So it's in the collection. It's there to be watched. I feel like I will watch it in my lifetime. I'm sure of that. When I watch it, that's another question. But it is one I will get around to watching at some point. The next movie I haven't watched is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, and this is the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I believe. And I'll be honest, this is sitting in the collection. And I was looking at it the other day, I was like, I've not watched this movie. I can't remember watching this. To me, I've definitely never watched it. I've seen the first three. I think what's happened, I've seen part of this movie. I think I've seen part of it. I think this one is starring Ian McShane, Jeffrey Rush, Johnny Depp, and Penelope Cruz. And if I remember rightly, this features like mermaids in it, because that's the point. I've seen one of the more recent Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and it's got mermaids in, and I'm pretty sure it's this one because I think it's over. So what happens? It's basis of the story. Yeah, mermaids. It's got mermaids. I see mermaids in the text here on the back of the DVD. Yeah, never watched it fully, this one. I don't really know much about the story, but I like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I think it's just I've lost track of them. I've not seen the more recent one as well, where we see, I think, is it Orlando Bloom is in that one, and Keira Knightley returning that one as well. Never seen that one. I will get around to watching them, because I like their movies. I think they're really fun adventure movies. It's just one that's, yeah, it's sitting in the collection, just... It's been hiding. That's been hiding from my eye. That really has been hiding, and it's one I'm probably going to watch very, very soon, because they are fun, entertaining movies, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I like them all. I remember watching the first one at first, really enjoying it, and watched the second one, and I wasn't really into it at first. And then I rewatched it, and I really enjoyed it, and the third one was great as well. And look, maybe they're not for everyone. I like them. I think just go into this world of pirates and fantasy elements. It's cool. It's cool. I like it as a movie fan, and it is one I will definitely be watching. So the last movie on my list of movies I haven't watched yet in my collection is Conan the Barbarian, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this is one, again, similar to Pirates of the Caribbean. It's been sitting in the collection for a while, and I've seen bits of this as a kid. I think I've seen a bit where he's like, is it the start of the movie? He's on like the wheel. He's pushing like this big wheel around. I've seen certain bits. I've seen bits of it over the years. Just seen parts on TV, but I've never watched it from start to finish. Never seen it from start to finish. This movie, and I think it's deemed as like a classic Arnold movie now. You know, Conan the Barbarian. I'm pretty sure this is the first one. I think there's two movies. I think there's two Conan movies with Arnold involved, and I think was there a spin-off with a female character in this? I think it is. You know, it looks cool. I know there's been talk of years for some sort of another Conan movie with Arnold returning to the role. I know they've done like spin-offs and retakes and reboots of this over the years. I think Jason Momoa, he might have starred in a reboot at some point. But yeah, I like Arnold. I think look, here is it. Arnold Schwarzenegger makes his striking screen debut. This was his screen debut. I didn't even know that. As the legendary warrior and hero Conan the Barbarian, orphaned by a cold-blooded cult leader played by James Earl Jones. Didn't even know James Earl Jones was in this movie. You know that James Earl Jones. Mufasa, Darth Vader, there we go. You know who he is, the voice of those superb characters. And he's in this. I never knew that. That makes me even more excited to watch this movie. But yeah, it's sitting in the collection. Probably, I've not seen every Arnold movie, but this is one of the big hitters that I've not seen of his movies. And it is certainly one I will get around to watching, because it's very rare that I've got movies in the collection. And sure, you're saying, yeah, you've done 2 videos on this. Yeah, sure I have, but I don't think there's going to be a round 3. I'll tell you that, because this was hard to find these ones. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I will find a round 3, but doing a second video on this topic was hard to find movies that I'd never watched in the collection before. This is one, though, I'm looking forward to watching as an Arnie fan. I know it's not going to be like an 80s action style movie or 90s, but I think it'll be fun to just see Arnold as this big, super brutal warrior named Conan the Barbarian. If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of my movie-related content as well. And let me know your thoughts on these picks today. Which movies out of these would you watch first? Which ones do you think are not even worthy of watching? Let me know all your thoughts, and let me know about some more movies in your collection that you haven't got around to watching yet. If you've got some movies that are still in the wrapper still in your collection, maybe they're just gathering dust, they've never been watched in years, and you've never got round to watching them, let me know your picks of movies that you haven't yet watched in the collection. Thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, I will see you next time.